Welcome guys, it's Justice again here from tutorialscamp.com. The last video I show you how we can pass data from our parent component to our child component. Today we are going to do a very easy tip, right? What you are going to do is to pass data from our child component to our parent components. It's super easy, and trust me, in just 5 seconds you will grab what I'm just going to show you, right? So what the heck, let's go and do it. Open Visual Studio and boom. So I've gotten my child component and parent components. There's nothing really inside, right? If you go to the browser, you can see I've just embedded a child component into the parent component, right? So how are we actually pass data from this child component into this parent component? Remember, they are what? Different components, and you can't easily pass data from one to the other because each has what? Different access to what? Its template, right? So how do we pass data from child component to parent component? We make use of two decorators here. The first one is called output, and the other one is event emitter. That's it. Done. Alright, so what the heck are these bad guys, right? The first one, let me explain. You remember in the previous video I told you of this input, right? Input decorator, right? That make our properties a public API to tell our component that that property is what? Accepting a value from outside component. Pretty good. What this outside output property decorator to does the opposite. Whichever property you attach it to it is going to tell your component that, hey, this property right here is a property that is what? Going to pass data from this component to other component. So here is a capture. Let's see if you do something like output product name, right? So what you have done, if this is a property in your component, this, because you have attached this to it, is telling this your component that this property right here is going to what? Pass data from the component to what? To other components, because it's a what? Public API that's going to pass data from what? This main component to other component. Pretty simple, right? What the heck is this bad guy here too? All right, you remember we have event like click and this guy mouse over, yes, and the others too, right? You remember we have click event and mouse over click event. All right, so that are built-in clicks. So how can we actually create a custom event? How are we actually going to make some of our properties click event in our component? We do that with the help of a event emitter, right? So whenever you have a property and you want to make it a what? An event that can be what? Clickable, what? Use the event emitter. How do we do it? Let's see. You have gotten this our property right. Oh boy, this property right here. If you want to make it a clickable event, we can do something like new event emitter, right? And this bad here now has become what? An event that can be used like this guys here, right? Pretty simple. Okay, so if you have a button like this, bottom like this. That's print HTML for you. Bottom like this. You can use this event right here to execute what other function like this. And let's say you want to execute some function in our component like get data, right? Pretty simple. So whenever you click on this, this guy here is gonna what create it's going to execute this data. How does your component know here that this product name is an event? Is because of what? Assigning a new event emitter to it. It makes sure this property right here what an event that can be what click as this guy here, right? Pretty simple, pretty simple. So how do we actually make use of these two guys here so that we can pass data from our child component to parent component? Okay, one thing too I want to make it clean to you here is that this event guy right here, because we have made it an event, this event emitter right here has some method called emit. And what this emit method do is whichever product that this emit is being assigned, this event emitter is assigned to, you cannot pass data into it with what this emit value. So it accepts what data. Taking it again, this event here, emitter here, crash here, has a method in it called emit, right? So this emit, what it does is it can pass data from the component into what other components, right? So you can do something like product dot product name slash emit, and let's say the product name is what milk. All right, so let's say the product name is milk. So here what you are doing is we are passing milk from our component into other component. Pretty simple. So how do we use it to pass data from our child component into our parent component? Let me show you. All right, open Visual Studio. Inside our parent component class, let's create a method called greetings. I'm gonna greet everybody here. Greetings, and it's gonna take in, because what we are going to pass value from our child component into here. So the value that we are going to pass is what name, and it should be a type of string, right? So what I'm going to do is I'll let the name out. So I'm gonna say hello, good morning. It's probably afternoon here. Good morning. Whatever the day there, if it's morning, afternoon, put it here. So good morning name, right? Pretty simple. All right, so what we are doing is this name here is going to be passed by our chat component. So whenever we want to execute this function, you're gonna say something like hello, good morning, and the name that was passed into the by our chat component. So if the name is Justice, it's gonna say hello, good morning, Justice, right? All right, so how do we actually do it? Go to how do you pass data to this function inside our parent component from the chat component? Go to your chat component.html and let's click a button right here, and let's create a quick event that whenever it's quick, it's gonna what pass data. All right, so one is quick, we want to execute some function, so pass data to parent, something that you cannot understand it easily. So data to parent, right? Parent component, then you guys will understand what I mean. Parent right? Pretty simple. This name here is not the same as this, no. I just prefer to make things simple for you. That's why you can pretty call whatever you like this name to be, and whatever you like this guy to be here, right? So you can say something like click to pass data to parent component, right? So let's go ahead and create this component inside our child component right here. All right, pretty simple, right? Pretty simple. So when we click on this button right here, we want to execute this method inside the chat component, right? So let's actually do something like show a simple alert, and let's see hello, and let's just test that out if it works. Open your browser. What, I'm missing something, not save something right here. So all right, cool. So open your browser and okay, that's my server. Click and we got hello. Remember this guy here is come from the chat component, right? Yes. Where is it? This is it. We are inside the chat the chat component, and we have gotten chat components. Click to pass data to parent component. This is it, and this is it. So when you click on this, it's gonna execute the method, this method right here. And you click on it, hello method is executed. That method is from what? The chat component. So how do you pass data from the chat component to this parent function right here? Pretty simple, right? We make use of this bad here guy, the output, and the event emitter, and the what? Output decorator. So let's first import it in our chat component. So output output and event emitter, right? All right, so let's create one property here and call it let's call it greetings name, right? Greetings name, the name that we are going to pass. And let's assign, we want this property right here. We want to tell the component right here that this property right here is going to pass data from this component into other components. So how will the component know? We attach event emitter to it, right? Create an object of event emitter. So this property right here become what is now an object of what? This event emitter right here. But remember this guy here, how will your component know that it's going to pass data not into this child component but other component? We do that with what? The output decorator. So go ahead and add the output decorator to it. Okay, go ahead and add the output decorator to it. All right, pretty simple. Why am I getting errors? Why am I getting errors? Okay, so you use it as a function, right? Pretty simple, right? That's it. You go with it, you append the parentheses to it because it's a model, it's not a property inside Angular core. It's like a function that is inside of Angular core. Don't remember that, okay? Hey, don't forget that. So now what we want to do right now is that, you remember I told you that this guy here, event emitter right here, has a method inside it called emit, right? That can pass data from this child component into other component, right? So how do we use that? Let's go into this component right here, and instead of alerting hello, what you want to do right now is what? Pass data from the child component into the parent component whenever this button right here is clicked. And remember, this button, when it's clicked, it's going to what? Execute this function, right? So let's go ahead and then pass data into other component using this greetings name here, right? Remember, this greetings name right here is an object of event emitter, so it has access to all the methods that this event emitter class here has. So let's do something like greetings name. All right, this dot greetings name dot emit, right? All right, let me show you here. Emit, right? Method event emitter dot emit value. Well, it takes in a value, any emit an event containing a given value, right? So it's going to emit a value to other components. So the name that we want to pass in, justice, you can probably call it whatever name you prefer. So what are we doing right here? We are using this event emitter object right here to pass data from this component to other component, right? So how do we actually bind it to our child component right here? How do we pass the value, this value here, into our child component right here? The fact that we have a value that we have tell our child component that this guy right here is going to send a data value outside to this child component right here doesn't mean whenever you click on this button it's going to do that. No, just go ahead and let me run it and you see that we are actually not getting anything. Whenever I click, nothing happens. Why? Because we may imagine we have 3000 other methods here, like methods like good, right? And another method too, like bad, right? Another method too, like bad. So this three component inside your parent component, how will your child component know that this is the method that it should pass data into, but not this and not this? How will your child component know that, right? It can only know that with by what? It can only know that, the way it can only know that is to go to your app.component.html and inside the child component, right? Inside the child component, let's call the parent function, which is this. The parent function that we want to pass data into is this. Remember, this function, it takes in what? A value, right? So just go ahead and copy everything and paste it right here. Paste it right here, and it can pass a value. Okay, so paste it right here, right? And paste it right. So we have pasted it right here. So what is the value that we are going to pass from this child component into this parent component, right? This parent function right here, right? What is the value? So the value that we want to pass in what is the object of the event emitter right here, which is nothing but this justice. And the way we do that is that we use this greetings here what as an event, because remember I told you that whatever when any object of event emitter functions is like a what, a click what event right here. So this bad guy here right now is an object of event emitter and it's acting like what, an event. So it can be what, used as a what, click event, like this guys over here. So if it's used as a quick event, then let's go ahead and use this guy here as a quick event. Go to your app component and inside here let's make it an event. So you remember that any event that's what execute what, a function. So what function is this guy going to execute? The function that is going to execute is no more function than this function, which is right inside the parent component, and we have gotten it right here. So let's copy it and boom, there we go. But remember, this function right here, it takes in a parameter. right? It takes in parameter, and the parameter that we are passing it into is what is justice from child component. So we have passed it already inside our child component, and we can pass it again inside here, like something like justice. If you do, then we are actually not passing it this justice from our parent component, but what is a personal custom value, right? So the way we do that is to use event. This event right here contains an object of whatever value this greetings event right here is being passed into this guy. So that's it to it. Open your browser and everything should be working. When we click on, we should get hello justice. Pretty simple, right? So what's the catch? What are we doing right here? We are passing data from this child component into what? This function inside our parent component. Get rid of this, guys. I was just showing you something with it. So that's it. The way we do that is to use the event emitter and the output decorator. Remember, the output decorator tell your component that whatever property it is attached to is what's going to pass data from its component to other component, and whatever object whatever object of any event emitter you created in your component is going to like as what an event, and you can use that object to pass data to other components by using it emit function, a method, whatever you can call it, function or method, because in procedural programming we call it function, in object oriented programming we call it method. So here we have to call it method, but I do code in procedural programming and both object oriented programming, so sometimes I just miss things out, but I know what I mean. So if you hear me saying function, I mean method. That's it for you. See you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos. Also, if you have any difficulties, drop it in the comment box below. See you in the next video. Have a wonderful day.